Tomorrow, Gladys Knight will release her 8th solo album. It's called Where My Heart Belongs. But right now, she joins us in the studio. Good morning to you, Gladys Knight.
Morning,
always good to see
girl.
you. The title, Where My Heart Belongs. Does your heart belong to gospel? Because I said, look at Gladys trying gospel, but you've done gospel before.
Yes, I have, and it's the best part of my life, and I'm very open about that. Was raised that way, my mom and dad, about gifts and those kinds of things and how we are to use them. And use them in a way that is fitting to him. So I always like to do my gospel thing and put it out there, just like everything else that you do.
But for most people, it's Midnight Train to Georgia. For so many people, when they think of Gladys Knight, which I'm told started out as Midnight Plane to Houston.
That's right. And I called him up immediately, say, I don't go to Houston that much. And I certainly ain't flying that much, you know. When I was little, and you saw that picture up there when I was doing Ted Mack coming here at 7 years old, we rode the train all the time from Atlanta. And my grandfather was a Pullman porter, so I got a chance to experience the ride that way, and I just got spoiled. You know?
And it was originally a country song.
It was, Jim Weatherly. And I just got to talking to him the other day. He's doing a book. And I love country music because of their down-home life way that they write.
Yes.
It's so plain and simple, you know, yet it's romantic, and it's not as gutty as some of the other things, you know. And I just love country music. I like all kinds of music, tell the truth.
Me too.
But how about where do you put rhythm and blues?
I put it right at the top with everything else. You know, you got to remember that blues and jazz started this whole music thing.
Exactly.
You know, so.
And it's an original American music.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, most definitely. And it's incorporated in everything, even the hip hop, and they don't know it.
They don't know it.
They don't know it, you know.
Certainly rock and roll and hip hop too.
Absolutely, you
They
know.
said that you want to perform with Kanye West, and I heard that, and I thought, does she know who Kanye West is?
I do. You know,
And that's why she wants to perform with him, because he's so good and talented musically.
I'm trying to think, the two of you together, what is it that you like about him or his music?
I like his sound. You know, today, well, for me, and I'm old school, I admit it.
Yeah.
But I can't distinguish all the time who's who. Like back in the day, if the Temptations came on, or Aretha came on, or Barbara Streisand came on, you knew that voice.
Who, yeah.
You know, but today they sound so much alike, they phrase so much alike, that you really don't know who's who. And they've changed the radio format, so after every song they used to say, and that was Midnight Train by Gladys Knight and the Pips, and so you get to know the people more personally. I don't know who's who.
Have you met Kanye? Have you talked to him?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes,
That would,
I
listen, I would listen to that.
Yeah, but what interests me is the sound. Miles Davis once said to me, listen for the sound. What does that mean?
That means that it's distinct. You know, there's something in that voice, you know. I like John Legend. I like, you know who I really am looking forward to doing something with also? Missy Elliott. Now,
okay.
Missy,
I could see that.
Missy had hip hop, rock and roll, all that kind of stuff, but she also had my niece Aaliyah. And I took Aaliyah on the stage for one of the first times, you know, and she was a soft person. She was, and she took that soft thing and put it in a groove so she could still remain Aaliyah, but get on the hip hop kind of thing.
I didn't know she was your niece.
Yes.
I've always wanted to know what a pip is, because I looked it up in the dictionary. It says a small, hard seat in fruit. So
That's what it is.
So when it says Gladys Knight and the Pips, what is that? What is a pip to you?
We took that from my cousin James Woods, who was our manager at the time. He's just a construction person, but he was my mother's nephew, and my mom said, you got to go get these kids some jobs. Because he was very well known around Atlanta.
So it didn't really have a name to it, Pip?
No,
that's just
that was
something
just his nickname.
Oh, it's Pip.
Yeah,
oh,
but
okay.
he did everything for us.
Okay.
He took his little cement money and he brought us uniforms, paid for gas. You know, he was so proud of us. And then he gave us to the biggest promoter there was on tour at that time. So we named ourselves the Pips.
I got it, okay.
It was so good to see you at the celebration of the Apollo Theater.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was amazing. I got to tell you this story because it's funny. By the time we got to New York, right, to the Apollo, 61, we had been singing for I don't know how many years. We started in 52. And we got there. We used to doing 1 or 2 shows a night, okay? We got to the Apollo. We did our first show. We packed up our bags, getting ready to go. And the doorman said, I can't say what he said, but he said, where y'all going?
Oh, right?
We said, well, we've done our show, so we're going back to the hotel. He said, you got 5 more shows. And yeah, at that time they were doing 5 and 6 shows at the Apollo. They do a show, a short movie, a show, a short movie, like that. And so that was our first introduction to that.
But you're still clearly
No,
having a
it's great.
good time, Gladys.
Yes, I
You
am.
look fabulous.
Well, thank you so
did.
much.
You just turned
Isn't he
50.
wonderful?
Just celebrating your 50th
Yeah,
birthday.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Patty.
I'm 6 decades now into the business.
Where My Heart Belongs goes on sale tomorrow. You're watching CBS This Morning.
Hey.